All right, we are driving to Florence, Oregon for an appointment, and then we have a couple hours to kill, and then another appointment in Springfield, Oregon. Then we're going to drive back home. I had an awesome weekend. Awesome. Oh, hold on a second. Let me go ahead and welcome you to the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of 8192 The Truth. This is Joel D. Supernaw. Let's have a little chat. Let's have a little traveling chat. Great weekend. Great weekend. One of the best weekends I can remember. And, I could tell you about... $100,000 heaters on the blackjack table, the room at the end of the hall full of Magento chips, $1,000 hooks, $1,000 comped meals. Man, I could tell you all about that, and it wouldn't compare to the kind of weekend that I had this weekend. We'll start off, and it's just so simple. Man, I always get back to my dad telling me when he was dying, it's a shame you can't live life backwards. Well, I'm staying at Miss H's, and it's nice, man. It's cool. I have everything that I've been trying to get back for the last 10 years. Boy, when I had all that, I couldn't try hard enough to screw it up. I had it all. Had everything I wanted. All the stuff I'm fighting to get back right now. I had it all. Well, we had Randy on last week, and I asked Randy, what do you tell, 20 years ago, Randy? Man, what I tell 20 years ago, Joel, is you can have a lot of memories and a lot of stories that don't mean anything, or you can take care of this little family you got right here, and be humble and be moderate, or at least half that, at least half that. Well, this weekend, the first really cool thing that happened was the weather was really nice. And there's some things going on with Lad that I love. Lad he's sick and tired of everybody being better than him. And it's got him fired up and working hard, which it should. So Saturday, now KU wins, my basketball team wins. Tigers in the hunt all weekend, gets second place. That was really cool. So sports-wise, I'm a sports guy. My teams are winning. That was really nice. Miss H is cooking up a storm. This job I got, it's turning into something. So that's good. And Lad's working out hard. We go play baseball. And Lad is cracking the baseball. He is cracking the baseball, and he probably shouldn't have made that Westland High School team. But come to find out, not only did he go practice, twice a week, through that's all they could go, twice a week for the last 6 months. He wasn't getting coached up. He was just allowed to go to practice. They had already figured the lad was going to get whacked prior to the 6-month donkey. And when he was in Kansas City, we got some top-notch training for him, and he has taken that to improve himself. We had 2 weeks of private training. So Lad doesn't make the baseball team. Now we've been working real hard. Him and I, we've been working real hard. He is getting a lot better. So there's a field. It's a softball field, but it's cool. It's turfed. It's completely turfed. It's got a 10-foot fence. Now it's only 220 feet, but it's got a 10-foot fence. So you got a pretty big poke to get it out. Now Lad's a freshman in high school. That that is a park that he's 2 years removed from, so, but I never hit a home run. I never hit one out of the park. And I knew the thing about milestones for all of us is if we can't look at it, it's not real. We could say we're getting better, we're getting stronger, we're feeling better, we're getting lighter. Weight's always a good thing because you can get on a scale and say, okay, look, I've lost 10 pounds, I've lost 20 pounds. It doesn't always register into how you feel mentally, but push-ups. I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. Me and Lad have been working out forever, and he can do a lot of cool things. He can run, and he can bike, and he can swim, but strength-wise, he's been behind. It's because of me, I didn't want to come down on him too hard because he's always been working real hard. So he's, we should have redshirted him. Lad deserves, fighting through the autism spectrum. Lad deserves a little leeway, but he didn't want none. He doesn't want any. He doesn't want anybody feeling sorry for himself. Sorry for him. So, 70 days ago in Kansas City, man, he couldn't do one good push-up. Well, now he's up to 20. Now he's up to 20, and he's doing them every day. Well, he can see that, and that's a big confidence builder for him. He can see the weights going up, so that's a big confidence builder for him. So I took him over after he's hitting line drives, and not everybody can hit a home run. Anyway, we go to the baseball park, the softball field, and Lad hits. Over the course of 2 days, he hits 5 home runs. And he runs out 2 of them, and it was so much fun for me to do. I could have stayed there all day. It was so much fun. And I'm like, buddy, until you're hitting them in the street, we're going to come here because it's a lot of fun. I tell you guys, man, go do something with your kids. And you don't have to go by here's how the baseball world would look at this and look down on it. So what? He hit a home run out of the the softball field. He's 14. He's almost 15. Well, he didn't hit one when you guys weren't coaching him up. He did. This is huge improvement. We've been at that field for years, and he never hit one. He hit 5 this weekend. And what I told him is, now that's a benchmark. Now you've got 2 years to add 80 feet, and then you'll be hitting the fence at the high school field. 80 to 100 feet. That's doable. We just had a milestone. So that was really, really fun. That was really, really cool. And then we go to yesterday. Jake Smith comes, and the thing about Lad is he will work hard for me. He really will. He really will work hard for me. But those other guys, a Chael, a guy like Jake Smith, Ricky Simone, because he wants that brotherhood. He wants to be a part of something so much that, man, he will go till he can't go anymore. And buddy, he's a puker. If he eats before a hard workout, he'll boot. So yesterday, we go to the track. Jake comes over, and he works. He's working Lad out, and Lad's doing really, really well. I can see the improvement in his boxing. I can see it. It's only, this is the third or fourth time he's worked with Jake. I can see a big improvement. I'm just watching, taking pictures. And Chael brings Thero over. And Thero's, 2.5. He's not quite 2.5. Lad would know to the date that what he is. And I've only seen Thero twice, 2 or 3 times since I've been back. But he, anyway, he sees me, he runs to me, he puts his arms out. Man, I felt like $1 million. And he's little. And little kids are cool. So, me and Thero get to hang out. That's a lot of fun. I love that kid. Can't wait to do some of the things, because I'm reliving, when Lad was that small, and kids are cool, man. Before we screw them up, man, they're just perfect. And he's just a perfect little kid, and he loves me, and that means the world to me. So the cool thing that Thero does, for whatever, he's got a whisper program going on. He's talking real well now, but he's whispering. Come on, Joe. We go over there. So we go to the swing set, and there's 20 swings. So I swing him on one for a little while. I say, "You're done?" He says, "I'm done, all done." And he gets off and he goes to the next one. He goes all the way down the line. And now it's coming to the end. So now we finish up playing over there. We're coming to the end of Lad's workout. Lad's done. Now he's already booted. He's already thrown up once. And Lad doesn't, Jake's like, hey, I think we got good work in here. Are you done? He's like, no, I'm going to do 10 hills, 10 sprints up the hills. Well, halfway, Lad boots, and Lad goes, I go to Chael, you think he'll quit? And Lad's like, Chael's like, no, he won't quit. And Lad he verbally taps out, and Jake's like, nope, come on, I'll do the next 5 with you. So not only does Jake do the next 5 with him, Thero does 2 of them with him. And it was just really, really cool. Got some really cool pictures. Beautiful day. That Rosemont Middle School in Westland's got a little bit of everything. It's got the hills. It's got the football field. It's got the, that softball field I was talking about. It's right next to it. And it was just great. It was just great. Lad works so hard, he boots a couple more times, goes home, takes a shower, and just crashes. Doesn't even have enough energy to eat. I wake him up, we go play baseball again, he hits a couple more home runs, and then we're winding down the evening, just winding down a great weekend. And Jake Smith posted an Instagram post, saying, hey, this is my buddy Lad Supernaw. He's working real hard. If you've heard him on, either Chael's show or Joel's show, he has autism, but it doesn't stop him. He doesn't want to be treated any different. And it was really cool because Lad said, I didn't know Jake knew I had autism. And I said, yeah, he listened to the show, and he said, boy, he sure doesn't treat me like that. And that is what Lad really, really wants. He wants somebody to coach him up, coach him hard, and Jake's doing that. In the short time Jake's been with him, he's doing that. That post meant the world to Lad. It meant the world to Miss H, and it meant the world to me. And so that was, that was my $20,000 weekend. I've done $50,000 weekend. I would, if I could duplicate that every single weekend, I would. It was a fantastic weekend, and it leads me into this week motivated to enjoy the things that I already have, the little things that I already have. We take everything for granted. I take so many things for granted. My health, I'm pretty healthy. My friends, my family. I think we all do that to a certain degree. So my bigger point is, I guess the point that I'm trying to make, you guys like it when I tell somebody to come see me or be the tough guy or the blockhead or something like that. But there's a lot of you that really like it when I just open up and get real with you. And that, my friends, is what the opening of the show was. Transitioning to NCAA basketball, a $1 billion business where the star power is not paid. In 2018, the stars are not paid. Incredible. But I'm a fan. They've got me hook, line, and sinker. That is for sure. Kansas won the Big 12. They got a pretty tough bracket. They've got, 3 out of the top 10 teams in their side, that's okay. I mean, if you're going to be the national champ, you got to win them all anyway. They have the kind of team, the Kansas Jayhawks, they have the kind of team that not too many people are given a true chance to win the championship, which is the exact team that won the championship in the last 17 years since I've been a big fan of the Jayhawks. Actually, it's been longer than that. 91. So however long that's been, pulling up on 30 years. Wow. Time flies. So we have the NCAA championships coming up, March Madness. There was some just flat out screw jobs. You would think this committee would get basic things right. I'm going to give you an example. Oklahoma was at one time the number 4 rated team in the NCAA. They've got this Trae Young kid who's the leading scorer in the NCAA. They're comparing him to Steph Curry. Well, they're 4-14 in their last 18 games. Just last week, they lost to Oklahoma State, who has pretty close to the same record. Oklahoma State beat Kansas twice. Kansas is the number 1 seed. So you would think logic would go into that, and they would say, yeah, Oklahoma State gets in. If one of those teams is going to get in, it's going to be Oklahoma State. Well, sure enough, they picked Oklahoma to get into the tournament, not Oklahoma State. Whew. They've come up with another a word like baseball. Baseball has this statistics called sabermetrics. Well, NCAA basketball now has a word called first quadrant, second quadrant. I have no idea what it means, but it lets the crooks that decide who gets into this $1 billion tournament, it allows them to say this is why that team got in, which is stupid. You crooks in the NCAA basketball are making so much money. Why not just make it 122 teams? There's so much opportunity for you thieves to even bilk us for more money. We're grapes. A grape is an easy sell. I'm going on 2 appointments today, and I hope I got 2 grapes. I hope I'm not driving 6 hours for nothing. I hope that I have 2 grapes, and I squish them. Well, NCAA basketball, we are the grapes. We are the grapes. And if you're going, and there's teams out there that went 29-4 or 29-5 that didn't get in because they're a smaller school. Well, if you're not going to be fair with the smaller schools, create another division for them. You have Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA. You have all these different divisions. If you crooks are going to be that flagrant in making these rules up as they go, well, then give them their own tournament. Middle Tennessee should have been in. Oklahoma State should have been in. Oklahoma shouldn't have been in. These are common sense things. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. Hold on a second. All right, we still got 25 miles until we get off. Oh, and this thing says it right there, so we're good. Let me check this thing to make sure I'm recording. It would suck if I'm not. Oh, yeah. All right. So, where was I? So the crooks, the NCAA basketball full of crooks, full of elitists, robbing from the labor. Then we get to the next big NCAA tournament that is this weekend, is the NCAA wrestling. Boy, it was so nice to have Chael come on and talk about NCAA wrestling for an hour. He would not do that. He won't do that on his own show because he feels obligated to talk mixed martial arts, cut promos, and talk wrestling to his crowd. I believe that his passion, he should steer into it. He's passionate about amateur wrestling. He's passionate about politics, even though I do not agree with his politics. He's passionate about it. I'll listen to him, and I'm a grape. He can persuade me. He can persuade me. But anyway, staying on NCAA wrestling, it was great to have him on the show. I had a tremendous outpour of people telling me, man, that was really good having Randy one day and Chael the next. It was. But the one thing about Chael, and I caught myself the other day. We'll talk about fighting. We'll talk about wrestling. And if we're going back 20 years, if pick for pick, we're probably within 3 or 4% of each other. Whoever's better, I have no idea. Either he's 3 or 4% better than me, or I'm 3 or 4% better than him. But the one thing that Chael will do is when he tells me something, like I said, Yanni D's not going to win the 141-pound championship. And he will tell me, you're wrong about that. That is, you are absolutely wrong about that. I'll immediately believe him because he says it with such conviction. Well, if you've ever listened to him pick fights, he's like the rest of us gamblers. He's on the inside. He knows a little bit more. So he's going to pick at a higher percentage, much like me, much like Ladd. You know more about a topic, you're going to have a better chance of picking the winner. Well, I believe him. When he tells me something, I got to step back. He says it with such authority, I have to step back. The NCAA wrestling tournament, it's one of the last pure events there is. Talk about NCAA basketball. I love it. I'm going to watch it. A bunch of teams are going to get upset. They're going to talk about it 24 hours a day. Thank God that NCAA or ESPN the last few years has allowed me to watch every single match in the NCAA wrestling tournament, either online for free or they'll show it live. That's great for wrestling. Now, the only content that you can get online, is from Flow Wrestling. And Flow, man, they used to tease you with some things. They used to tease the wrestling fan with, give you a little bit of content before they make you pay. And it's cheap. It's $20 a month. It's nothing. But they don't do that anymore. If you don't pay, you don't watch. That's annoying because there's only so many wrestling fans. And I got to believe by this time they've got all of us. So the guys like Jay Churko or the guys like the Flow Wrestling, you got to put some more free content out there So I can talk about NCAA wrestling on my show. Chael can talk about NCAA wrestling on his show. We're going to bring a whole new audience to Flow Wrestling. And after you hook them with a good story, some good wrestling matches, then they'll go ahead and pay your $20. It will increase. Like everybody, like the NCAA, Flow Wrestling's not much different. They found a business that works, which is this NCAA wrestling, and they're going to bilk you. They won't give you any free content. That's a shame. You guys should do that, but they don't care. They don't care. But anyway, NCAA wrestling is one of the last pure tournaments going on. These guys that are going to win this tournament, boy, they've been on a grind for anywhere from 8 to 12 years. A lot of them more than that. A lot of them have been wrestling since they were 5 years old. I wouldn't, Lad's going to start wrestling this year, and he can do as good. Mark Schultz didn't start wrestling until he was a sophomore in high school. Now, Lad's Lad's not. Oh, I forgot to. Yeah, we'll talk about that in another. Jake said that. Hey man, Lad's got a lot of pop in his left. I said, don't tell him that, or one of those kids at school are going to eat a hot one, which would make me happy, because I'm sure a bunch of them got it coming. But then, then I'd have to be a dad. Say, hey lad, you can't. You have to have some kind of punishment. You can't do that. It's uncalled for. That's assault. And then I'd get together with Chael and Jake and say, yeah, he whipped some bully's ass. But anyway, staying on NCAA wrestling. So, we have the last pure event. These guys have been going after it for 8 to 12 years. They get very, very, very little pub. Most of them could have quit and become fighters already. This is a new business, this fight business. Well, guarantee you, if you can place in the NCAA wrestling tournament, you can be a professional fighter. 100%. Nothing's going to stop you from it. You just transfer the work. And you keep doing what you do. What happens? Why it's not foolproof is the wrestler that is succeeding in the NCAA Division I's is really, really, really good. And for him to go to the local fight club and get beat up, get stung, get tapped out by guys that never even walked on a college campus, that hurts them for a little while. So the NCAA wrestling tournament is this weekend. Guys, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to watch about 3 hours of it. I want you to watch the first round, the very first round, because somebody's going to get knocked off. Some high seed's going to get knocked off early Thursday morning. I want you to watch the blood round. The blood round is Friday night, and it's the wrestlebacks. And the blood round separates the All-Americans from the also-rans. There's going to be top seeds that don't place in this tournament. They're going to get knocked out in the blood round by a competitor that has 12 or 13 losses that shouldn't beat them. But that kid with 12 or 13 losses is one match away from being what's called an All-American, an NCAA wrestling All-American, and that thing means something. It doesn't mean a lot to the ones of you that aren't concerned about that, but the club that is wrestling, that fraternity that is wrestling, yeah, that's your bona fides. NCAA Division I All-American. Don't care, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As the years go by, the place doesn't matter. You just say All-American. He was a Division I All-American. That means something. Well, the blood round, those guys are going to be fighting to the death for a point. There's going to be upsets. And then the last one this year, watch the finals. Watch the finals. There's going to be some great matches. Do that for me. And if you do not like wrestling at the end of it, if you come back and say this is boring, I hate it, well, then you know. Then you've done your time. You've watched one of the greatest tournaments that there is in wrestling. Spent 5-6 hours doing it. Then you can tap out. Then you can say, you know what, I don't like this. But until you do that, you cannot say you hate wrestling. It's boring. Watch this tournament. They're doing a better job of promoting it. They're not doing a great job. They're not the UFC. They're not Flow Wrestling. But they are, the NCAA is doing a better job. They're giving those kids some microphones. And, these kids, a lot of them are robots. But there's some stories. There are some stories in that, for sure. Fighting. Moving on to fighting. I cut an episode last week, and I didn't send it to Kevin, and I don't know why. I have no idea. But a couple of the talking points were George St. Pierre, one of the greatest wrestlers or fighters in NCAA wrestling, was talking about his legacy. He was talking about all of the people that he can't fight coming back because it would tarnish his legacy. Man, we don't care, George. We don't care. Once you reach a certain age, it used to be 30. 30 was the age the world quit caring about you. 45 is about that benchmark now. 45 is when the world says you're all done. Well, once you get on that group, man, when you guys are done fighting, we don't care about you. We don't care, George. We love you. Would love you to come back and fight, but combat sports, man. Somebody tell me what Riddick Bowe's doing right now. Somebody tell me what Buster Douglas is doing right now. There's only a few fighters in any combat sport that make a living after they're done fighting. And you're going to have to go out far and wide to find them. It is a brutal, brutal sport. Sports in general, that shine in general on any sport is brutal, because once that shine's gone, you are just like the rest of us. You are just like the rest of us, but the one thing that you have, it's kind of like having a bunch of money. You have a bunch of money, you got a bunch more friends. You think you're better than other people. Most of us are like that. And you lose it all, and then you lose all those people that you thought meant something. That you meant something to. Fighting's the same way. Sports are the same way. So George, this thing is called prize fighting. You ran through Michael Bisping and you did it sicker than hell. Why don't you go fight Nick Diaz? You'll probably beat him. Go get you a couple fights. You go get you a couple fights and then fight Conor. He stole your thunder. Conor's the biggest man in sports right now. Used to be you. That should piss you off. If you want to talk about your legacy, that should piss you off. He stole your legacy. He took it. He took it and ran with it. Social media. I can talk about this, and it's never. The horses are out of the barn. We have been found lacking. We as a culture, as a human being, have been found lacking. I'm going to tie this back to my original point, the little things that made my weekend great. Playing with Thero, seeing Lad hit a ball, being with Lad hitting the ball over the fence, Lad training with Jake. All of those things. That's what made me feel like $1 million. Social media. How much time in Lad's youth? Yeah, and I was a good dad. I was a good dad. Me and Lad did a lot of things together. A ton of things together. But I tell you what, if I was able to put that phone down, I could have doubled it. I haven't been important in a long time. But you get programmed. You get in these habits. These bad habits. We go onto social media. We take our pictures on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, Instagram, Chocobotsy, whatever the new one is, Snapchat. We go on there. We have a human interaction with our family, with our kids, or whatever. We take a picture. We put it on that, and we talk about it. Then we wait for somebody else to talk about it. We've been programmed, and we've programmed ourselves. We've fooled ourselves. We've fallen into a trap that we set for ourselves called social media, because we as humans have a need for other people to tell us we're cool, we're good, we're awesome, we're rich, we're smart, we're in shape. Whatever it may be, we're kind. Whatever it may be, we spend an inordinate amount of time on these goddamn phones, and we're missing the one thing that we can never get back, and that is time. That is time. So I'm going to soldier on and spend less time. I've been doing a fair job of it, but not good enough. Not good enough. Lad's going to be, we've got a couple more good years together, and then he's going to be accepted by the rest of humanity. He's going to be, a good-looking, strong kid, smart and funny, and then he's going to have a girlfriend and friends, and I've only got a little bit more time while I'm the coolest person in his life. I need to take advantage of that. When I get an opportunity to hang out with Thero, even though I need to snap a couple pictures and then shut my phone off and enjoy that boy, because he's gonna be he's not even mine. He's not even real family to me, and I'm not gonna have a bunch of time with him. That time's valuable. I could have stole a little bit more yesterday. I should have. He was tired. Lad was beat up, but I could have got another 10 minutes. I could have got another 10 minutes out of him. That would have been fun. We could have done some cool things. Oh, Uncle Joe G. Never gonna get this time back, guys. Let's do better this week. We're not that important. We're really not. And no matter how important we think we are, we're not that important. I saw Halle Berry mean, Halle Berry's probably got $1 bajillion. She's super hot. She was on some stupid show called Drop the Mic, where she was doing a rap battle, and they were acting like it was, off the cuff. It was sad, man. No wonder podcasts are so popular. The television is getting so dumb. No wonder it's so popular. So, part 1 of today's podcast journey. I'll do another one today. Might do 2 more today. Number 1 is in the books. Guys, write down what you have, man. Write down what you have right now. It might be the only thing you ever need. Because I had it. I had a beautiful little house. A beautiful, beautiful house. Beautiful wife. Beautiful kid. Would have been so easy to keep all that. All I had to do was quit fighting with the Joneses. Back up a little bit. Let myself know, man, you made it. This is success, Daddy. This is success. So, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. Put your phone down, pick your kid up, pick your niece up, pick your nephew up. Peace!